Welcome back to Nugget Garage. It's 2022. This is the first video I've made in about 4 weeks, I think it is. Been struggling a little bit with motivation and heat and getting fat over Christmas. And anyway, I had about a week off in the end. At the start of that week, I decided that I would purchase a motion simulator rig. It's a Sim Experience Stage 4, I think it is. It's got linear actuators and Fanatec wheels and pedals and all the stuff that was fancy about 5 years ago. Bought it off a friend of mine who actually had 4 of them. He tried to start a business where, you know, people paid to use the simulators and race in leagues and whatnot. It's actually quite immersive. It's good fun. The biggest problem was I realised I had nowhere to put it. So instead of sitting around doing nothing for a week, I actually sheeted and framed out and built another room in my granny flat. It took me a week. It cost me a lot of money actually, because timber and materials for that are very expensive at the moment due to all the Ronas. That took me about a week. So I had to frame it. I had to put insulation in it, put an air conditioner in it. I went and bought a window, put a window in it, framed the roof, did the electrical, sheeted it, chip rocked it, corniced it, plastered it. My kids helped me paint it. The wife helped me put some stick on floor, vinyl down, and actually came out pretty good. It's a nice little insulated, air-conditioned room for me to escape to and race cars and not have to pay for expensive repairs when you hit something. Sold the A86, so I'll just be doing sim racing for a bit. I'll just do a couple of iRacing, league races per week or something, just give me something to do other than sitting on the couch at night after work. This year, what am I going to do? I'm still got no idea how I'm going to make this stuff work in the long term. Like I said, I'm struggling a little bit with motivation, so I've still got all my bits. I've got everything that I need to build these cars. I think it's just the heat. I'll get back into my groove. We sort of come back to work on the 10th. And as expected, because the phone was ringing and diverting to my mobile all the week before, I knew it was going to be busy. And I spent the first 3 days or so just answering calls, shuffling 2 months of already booked in cars because people are obviously out of money, can't get parts, they got the Rona. It just was chaos for 3 days. Did my first actual paid job, I think, on the Wednesday or the Thursday, which really needs to happen because the bank balance took quite a hit doing stupid things like drunk purchasing race simulators and spending thousands of dollars on stuff that I don't need. I'd do it again. Also, during the Christmas break there, we did a week of emergency tunes and catch-up tunes and fix-up tunes for mates, and we were trying to make roll racing and whatnot. And I did a collaboration video for Motoring Box, which is cool. Zach Baldy, his RX-7. Actually never actually met Zach, but he was a pleasure to deal with. Seems like a good guy. And the Skid Factory, I think it was yesterday or the day before, ended up tuning that XE Falcon wagon of theirs. Unfortunately, it got to a point where the timing chain rattle was more worrying than what we were willing to keep going with it. So I think we just did the 98 tune, got onto the flex stuff and stopped. So they'll have to come back and we'll have to put some boost in it, but it was showing some pretty good numbers up to that point. Probably will do a Barra this year, I reckon. Grandpa, I've got to get that thing off the hoist early this year. My mate of mine, Henry, is currently chucking me an A340 together for it because I melted the crap out of the one that was in it. The KE10. Pretty much just got the drive-by-wire throttle pedal mounted over Christmas, and that's it. So I'm going to get stuck into that. It needs to go and be done. I'm getting pretty keen to see how it works. You notice that it's got new plates on it. I actually am an idiot and I bought stuff and things plates, so I've got things for that car and I've got stuff for the white car. This thing hasn't done anything since Coralbin. Couple of hour jobs this week. This Lexus probably has been done the hard way. I don't know if you know about Toyotas of this generation. They have that Toyota MPX that's like a multiplex communication system. This guy's put a GTE engine in, an A340 Link Fury, a Spitronics trans controller, and we've been trying to figure out how to integrate everything. The air conditioning looks like we're going to have to do some kind of MPX to CAN adapter, or I think the Link Atessa ECU actually has that built in, so maybe they've got a standalone version. Got to tune this thing probably tomorrow or Friday. It's a Harrop blower on an LSA. This thing's back because the mistune that was on there has obviously got some kind of internal issue. It runs fine on the stock ECU. I just checked that today. So the customer's going to take it back with a stock ECU and probably sell it. This GDR turned up. Was supposed to be in and out 2 days, manifold turbo swap. I think he supplied a G35 1050 and a 6 boost. Unfortunately, the 6 boost was a T4 split and his turbo was a V-band, so that's just turned up today, which is about 4 days or 5 days after it was dropped off. Now we can start on that tomorrow. This saw us come in for a tune and an exhaust. Dave's done the exhaust today. It's running on 4 cylinders. It's tomorrow's tune. Hopefully that's just foul plugs or something. The Supra, it's going to come apart shortly. We're going to do the gearbox planetary upgrade and the short runner inlet, and I'm going to see if I can get my hands on a GD47, like a Gen 2 genuine core. Try and put something modern on it. See if it'll make 1200 rear wheel. Also, me and my worker, my wiring guy Andrew, he's just gone and bought a nice little orange KE20 with a stock K in it, and I've bought the KE26 panel van, I don't know why, off Chris, and I'm actually getting a 7K built for that, so we're going to have some kind of not K swap, K challenge. I'm looking forward to that. He's going to do a big NA screamer with ITBs, and I'm going to do a stock rod turbo 7K, try and make it look like it's not turbocharged, because I kind of like that with a Supra. So I'll try and keep the air filter on it, hide the turbo pipe up through the back or something like that. Maybe use some kind of throttle body injection, maybe one of those weird Falcon throttle bodies or something that looks like a carburetor but it's not. Anyway, that should be an interesting, quick project. I want to do 0 to 60s in it, stock, use the draggy, figure out how much faster we actually make it by putting a 7K and turbo in it and a 5-speed, because the thing is really slow. Might even do like a roller to hub dyno comparison at like 35 horsepower, see what the difference is. And then we'll just follow both of those through as side projects. Once the KE10's done with the bike engine, that motor's got to come back out. Actually, I've got to send the stuff away for ceramic coating. Just get into it, get cracking on all the fabrication. Dave's going to actually do the inlet manifold this week, and maybe the exhaust for me, so that's just done. One less thing I've got to do, and then after that it's the KE20, which is what I'm excited about. I've got to do all the monoleaf split monos, sliders, AFCO shocks, a whole ton of fabrication. So I've got to try and figure out these Mondays. I've got to try and find my motivation and see if we can get back into this and make some videos. The 3RZ KE10, it's just been parked up at home. I ran it on petrol, pickled it up, put it under a cover. We were going to pull the motor out over Christmas, but a mate of mine, Kip, actually pulled his part, which is very similar engine actually, same rods, similar turbo, same amount of boost, similar sort of power, same sort of RPM, same sort of tune-up, and all of his rods measured perfectly within spec. So I reckon we're going to send it for another 50 passes, see what it does, which means probably run that Kenda meet in February, possibly go down to Sydney for Jamboree, and there's some QDRC meets coming up, so that'll keep my weekends busy. Like I said, I've got Mondays from February on pretty much to myself, so I'm going to start cracking on making videos that I actually want to show you, where stuff gets made, things get done. I'm not just walking around a workshop sweating, trying to talk shit to stall time. So 2022, hopefully all of your year has been all the years have been off to a good start. Mine, I put on about 5 kilos over Christmas. I've got to try and lose some of that because I don't even think I'll fit in my race suit or in the race car in my current condition. On that note, I'll see you next week. I will try and make something worth putting up, and see you then.